I've been given just a few moments. I have the privilege of showing you a slice of my own keynote, my new materials, a little later on before lunch. But really this point is where I wanted to introduce to you the concept of something that the people at USB have been working on very strongly for the last 9 months, the launch of which is today. And it's a concept called team thinking in relation to what it is we can do, not just from stage with many of the speakers inside the USB stable, who often give monologues out from stage and brighten up your conferences, no doubt. We're more concerned today with dialogue. And although you've heard a lot of keynote speakers talking about their own materials today, and rightly so, the real issue that we want to launch through you into the market is a concept called team thinking. A series of interventions that many of the USB speakers will be able to deliver because you're spending so much money on your conferences, you're working out so much time and budget and effort. It seems a little crazy just to fill the stage with the bright lights and to do really cool stuff. We need to organize the audience and make sure that we're getting dialogue with them and through your event. In many instances, you've got the ability with an audience gathered from your company at your conference to bring together the very best brains inside your business. And if we capture the essence of some information, if we create for you, as we will be doing, a series of interventions, they'll be designed for you to get more information out of your audience than at any other conference that you've ever put together. We believe strongly at USB the boundaries of conferencing need to be pushed. We can do one of 3 styled interventions for you. We can help you listen to your audience and gather some information from them, which turns into valuable management information in its own regard. We can help grow your audience by solving particular problems inside your event, or we can build your business and build your event into something that's absolutely superb that relates very strongly to your own organization and your own business culture. These interventions, short, sharp, shock interventions, 45 to 90 minutes, depending on the length of your event, led by experts, will turn the lights up in the room and focus on your people. So many of us will deliver a keynote without a problem for you at all. But some of us have the ability to work with you on these interventional type, what we call team thinking exercises. This is not a slide we'd ever use at a conference, but it now lets me introduce the person who, as a consultant, is working with USB and many of our speakers inside the stable to really put the best interventions together. We have a whole herd of them lined up for you, but to get you thinking about what type of intervention might be best for you, whether it's listening, growing, or building, I'd like to introduce you to Bev Hancock, who, please come up and join me on stage, Bev, if you will, is tying all of us together to make sure that we can package key 45, 90-minute interventions, whatever it is that we require. And to do so, let's get you to do a little bit of work in that process this morning. Bev, over to you if you'll explain the concept of what's on the tables for our delegates, please.
All right, thank you, Michael. I think what really excites me about today and the process going forward is that we are listening to a new language. We're listening to a language of collaboration, of co-creation, of input. And we come to a conference and you hear these amazing talks, and what happens inside your head, it opens up your thinking. And we all know that you cannot solve the problem with the same thinking that created the problem in the first place. So how do we do that? And the most amazing way to do that is actually sitting in the room here today. When we learn to harness the collective wisdom in the room and listen to the voices of our people, not only do we hear the conversations that we're not hearing in the boardrooms and in the formal meetings, we are allowing your people to be seen and heard, and very often bringing the very solutions that you've been looking for all the time. So these short, very, very powerful, very impactful sessions are meant to turn these conversations and this thinking into market intelligence that you can take into your strategy, into your boardrooms, into your thinking, into your decision making. So we really want to put this into practice now. So on your tables, you have a sheet. And this is an invitation for you to speak to us. We would like to hear your voice in the room this morning and to ask you the question, what are the kind of conversations, what are the challenges, what are the opportunities that you would like to unpack in a very directed, very focused, very powerful way that will maybe disrupt some of the conventional thinking in our leadership teams and in our companies. So what are the things that keep you awake at night? What is the burning opportunities? What are the burning challenges that you're facing? They might be with your people, they might might be with your strategy, they might be with your market. Just give us 3 things, because we would like to enter into a conversation with you in the most focused, targeted way that we can. So we would like to hear the voice in the room. So can you just take a few minutes, fill in 3 things, put your sheets in the middle of the table, and we will come and collect that, and then we're going to give you some feedback before the end of the conference. Can you all do that for me?
This is also going to help us from a USB perspective tailor particular interventions that we've pre-developed for you, that we can bring to you to show you how you can lift your conferencing to new heights as well. So if you will just take a moment or two to fill in your form, as Bev says, when you've done so, leave them on the table. Or if you're thinking about it in the tea break, which we'll be taking you through in a moment, you can always hand them into the registration table. And at the very end of today, we're going to find out from all of you, the voices in the room, as you say, what's really keeping you awake at night, or your leadership teams awake at night. We believe that we have a solution for you. We also believe that we're the only speaker bureau in the country that's working this way with you, and we're very proud to roll out this series of short interventions on offer to you so that we can help take your conference to even greater heights than just keynote speaking in its own particular regard as well. Let's give you a moment or two just to fill those in. But thank you. It's an amazing opportunity. And I know, Bev, you've been working long and hard on the speakers and building the intervention, the menu offerings that we're creating at the moment. It's been an interesting exercise for you as a specialist in this field as well, hasn't it?
It definitely has, and I think what's really excited me about it is just the incredible quality of the thinking that's already in the room, and how we now take that thinking out into dialogue and into action. At the end of the day.
We've rehearsed and run several of these interventions already with specific clients, a few here in South Africa, a few across the UK and into Europe. The response from them, from clients, has been amazing. I never knew, people are saying to us, that you could harness so much information from a conference. So the days of just the old monologue conference dump, I think, are well and truly over. Now we can engage in real dialogue, making sure that you get maximum value from your entire day of conferencing, not just from having a professional keynote speaker like myself or many of my colleagues here today at your event. We can also do these interventions with you off-site. You don't need to wait for a conference to make these things happen. And already we've trialed these in client boardrooms everywhere, and the response has been remarkable. So thank you for filling those in, ladies and gentlemen. If you'll leave your completed forms on the table, our USB team will collect those over the lunch break. Bev's going to be working out exactly what the voice of the conference is, what are the key things that are keeping leadership teams awake in business today, and in the course of the next week to 2 weeks, we'll be back to all of you, should you require us to do so, with a specific intervention that we'd like to offer you that I believe will take you, your business, your conference, or even a meeting in your boardroom to the very next levels. Thank you very much indeed from Bev and myself.
Thank you.